Hi everyone, this is Simon from RevitUni.com, and today I would like to show you how to implement header into window family. Header is basically a beam, so you may think that maybe it's better to model it as a beam in Revit, but beams are kind of tricky elements and it's sometimes very hard to handle them. So that's why sometimes I add headers directly to the family. Whatever family I find online or in the Revit library, it's possible to add header to it, and it's very, very quick and easy. So stay with me, and if you like this video, subscribe to my channel to have notification about new tutorials that I will soon release. On my screen, you see windows of different sizes. It can be any kind of family. But the rules that I will show you will apply to every family, and I will go directly to edit. So when I'm in family editor, I can go to left, and header will obviously go above the window frame. But first, it's good to create a component that will be our header. So I will go to File, New, Family, and it will be a generic model template. Metric generic model, open. I'm starting by drawing a reference planes. If you feel skilled in Revit Family Editor, you can skip that part. Basically, I will model a beam. So you can move to another chapter. And yes, so I got distracted. So I will just draw another reference planes here and here. And equal. This will be the thickness of the beam. It will be a double beam, like in wooden structures. So it will be typical for American house designs. Okay, another reference plane for the height, and again for the length, equal, and dimension here. Okay, now let's start to create parameters. So I select the dimension line and call it as instance parameter. Let's name it length. Okay, this will be single beam thickness. Okay, and here it will be height. Okay. Now I will create an extrusion. So first extrusion, I lock the padlocks. Okay. And the second one. Okay. They are attached in this direction, but now I want to make sure that the length is correct as well. Okay. Okay. Maybe I will parameterize a material as well. Okay. And yeah, let's test it and apply some sample values. So I will change the thickness of that beam to 2 inches, let's say. Okay, and height to 9.5 inches. Okay, length can be, let's say, 1000. Okay, height should be also an instance parameter. Yes, and now important part would be to change the category of this object because it's generic model by default since we choose the generic model template. I would like it to be Windows. And I will make sure it's shared. I will show you why I chose this checkbox if you don't know what it does. what it's doing. Another thing would be to create a subcategory for this element. So now subcategory of this object, it's none. I will change it to headers. I don't have such subcategory as headers, so it's good idea to create it. I do it by going to Manage, Object Styles, and select Create a new subcategory. Okay, we can apply the default line weight. We can make sure it's 2 for the cat and change its color if you like, but I will stay as black by default and click Apply. Okay, so now I select both of those masses and switch it to headers. Okay, let's save this family. Okay, once it's saved, I will load it into the window family. Okay, I have to be at the floor and select a component, so I will place it here. Okay, now I should align these objects with Align tool and make sure it's centered with padlocks. It's gonna be on the exterior side, so I will go to exterior and also push it up a little bit. Let's say up to here. I will lock it as well. Okay, now the third direction, so I go to the left and align it with either a wall face or certain reference plane inside the window. We can also create a separate reference plane just for headers. So maybe I will do that if you want to have total control over this element. So I would draw a reference plane. Let's say it's here. Okay, I know there is a lot of reference planes already there. So maybe I will drag it up, header, front, position. Okay, let's call it like that. And now I will align to this reference plane. Okay, let's log that. Since we have this reference plane, it would be good to parameterize the position of that against the exterior face of the wall. So I will create a dimension line and create a label. So let's say header offset from exterior. Okay, let's make it an instance. Let's test how it works and apply the default value. So I will go to the family types and check if it works, for example, with a value of 0. Okay, it works like that. So I will make it actually a 0, a default value. We will always be able to change it later in the project. Okay, so the hardest part is over. And now we can connect the parameters properties of window with this header. You see the dimensions here, so I need to now connect it with the new parameters that I will create inside the window family. So I will call this header height. Okay. Okay. And length, we can connect with the width, but usually the beam has, this header beam has some kind of extensions at the ends. It's usually symmetrical on both sides. Here we would have some studs that are also surrounding the window. So actually it would be a good idea to go back to the header family and add something that is called extensions. So I will create additional 2 reference planes here. and create parameters called extensions. Now I will reconnect these beams to the new reference planes. Okay. And load it back into the window family. Okay. And now I will also parameterize the header extensions. Okay. And length will equal the rough width of the window family, which is like a width of an opening. Okay. So maybe extension default would be an 80. Okay. I will load it back into the project and see how it behaves. So let's load it to project 2. Overwrite the existing version. And here we have it. So we see clearly the header, and we can change the header height directly here. Let's make it at 300. See, it changed 20, 80. Okay, you can see on the pre-selections edges that it actually changes. And extensions, let's make it 120. Okay, so we can also see it on section. So you see that because it's instance parameters, I modified only this selected element. So you can apply individually to each window a different scenario if the header varies across the project. I will do a section running through this window, so you can see also how it looks like on section. We have also offset from exterior, so we can change it, for example, to 20. Let's go back to 3D view and maybe apply transparency to this wall so you can see it clearly. Okay, it looks like that. If you would like to be able to cut an opening through this header, we can of course also do that. So we can go back to family, exterior, and try to create a void running around it. I will go by void extrusion and create a void around it. Okay. If I go to left, I can decide whether it will go through the entire width of the wall, so I can extend it like that, or I can narrow it down just to the beams, header beams itself. It's up to you. Of course, there is gonna be insulation somewhere, but for this case, I will just extend it like that. And using a cut command, I will cut through it. Okay. Everything is gray, so it's a good idea to actually apply some material and load it back into the project. Okay, so you see, if I hide this window, we have clearly an opening there. Of course, we can fix it a little bit, but you get the idea. Actually, in my case, I didn't have to model an opening, but if it's your task, then you will know how to do. I almost forgot to mention one thing, is that remember we created a subcategory of headers. So now if I go to VG and would like to hide all the headers in the view, I can simply expand the Windows category section and uncheck headers. Okay, so you see they've become hidden. And also remember that I applied a shared parameter to this header. So now I can separately select it, it appears in the properties, so I can create a multiple sizes and types, and later then they can be scheduled under a window category, and we can also separately tag them. So we have access to the window family itself and to the header. This is it. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe to my channel. It really motivates me to record the new videos. So if you have some questions or ideas, let me know in the comments section below. I will try to prepare a video that is answer to your problems.